Oh yeah, I've also heard that you joined OSN twice actually. Can you share your experience joining OSN? Hi, hi, hi! Welcome back to BMDB Podcast. I'm Chika and I'm accompanied by my co-host Bara.
So, Chica, what are we gonna discuss today?
Today, we're gonna discuss our experiences in Olympiads or competitions, and we have the perfect guest star for that, which is Hakim.
Hey guys,
Introduce yourself, Hakim.
so my name is Andy Hakim Asfar, and currently I am in the class of 9 Tinombala. One of my favorite hobbies is math.
So, I've heard you've joined lots of competitions before. What's the first competitions you ever joined, or the first Olympiad you ever joined?
The first Olympiad I ever joined was actually COSME, which is a mathematics competition for Islamic students. I joined that competition because one of my math teachers at that time recommended it to me.
So, you joined COSME, right? I actually joined COSME myself, but in social studies. How was your experiences in COSME for the first time?
To be honest, I was kind of nervous and also like very confused when I saw the COSME questions because lots of the COSME questions they needed Islamic understanding to do the questions because some of these questions are tied to like the Quran or like the Hadith, and because of that, you kind of need to be an expert in both the Quran and Hadith to kind of understand what they're asking.
So I've heard that IKLC is actually coming this week, and there are lots of people who are about to join. Do you have any tips for people who are about to join IKLC?
Well, my first tip would be to practice with your friends, okay? Because practicing is a really easy way, but also like a really good way to practice for any English exam, alright? Or any exam that's like in a foreign language, right? The second way is try to do the past questions because usually in Olympiads, right? Sometimes they have the same subject inside of them, if you get what I mean. Yeah.
Now, you've also joined lots of math competitions. Now, for the people that are looking to join these math competitions, do you have any tips and advice for them also?
For a math competition, to be honest, it's kind of the same as the English competition, which is to practice math competitions, like practice old math questions, and also like study by yourself, right? Because you don't need a teacher to study for an Olympiad, right? The most important thing, in my opinion, for an Olympiad is practice, right? Because in a math Olympiad especially, you have to learn how to think like the person who made that question because it's about problem solving. So yeah.
Oh yeah. What's your biggest mistake that you made during when you're trying to do an Olympiad or a test?
One of my biggest mistakes was waiting for my teacher to teach me something, right? Because one time, right, when I was studying COSME, right, I was learning with my teacher, right, and when I finished learning with my teacher, I didn't learn any new like materials by myself before the next time I met my teacher, right? But then now I'm starting to realize maybe I should study more by myself because when you study with your teacher, you're studying at your teacher's pace, which might not suit you. So it's like I said, it's better to study by yourself.
Now, you mentioned earlier that your favorite subject was math. How did you first become interested in math?
So one day in grade 7, right, we had a test in math, and when I did that test, I kind of found it too easy, right? Not to be like arrogant or anything, but when I came home, I tried to find harder math questions, and eventually I stumbled on an OSN question. And when I did that OSN question, I was um, I was amazed by like how interesting it was, and like how the formulas were put together in a way such that it would be able to solve that problem. And ever since then, I have gotten even more attracted.
Oh yeah, I've also heard that you joined OSN twice actually. Can you share your experience joining OSN?
My experience joining OSN was honestly kind of similar to my experience joining other competitions. It was just in OSN, it felt more intimidating than other competitions because of just how many people were joining. And there were also like many stages to OSN, so every time the results were posted, I would always get like nervous looking at them.
So I've also joined OSN twice actually for social studies, and unfortunately, I didn't pass. Now, a lot of people said that the scoring system for OSN is unfair. What do you think about that?
To be honest, I think that any system that uses a scoring system of sending the top X people in a location or area to the next stage is unfair, because different areas might have different population densities, right? Meaning that the competition there will be far greater than the competition in another area, just because there is more people. So because of that, I think it's unfair, because there are some competitions that use, the percentage scoring system, or like if you score more than this, you pass system. So I just think the one OSN uses is not as efficient, and it might be unfair to some people.
So you said that some competitions have an unfair system. Well, what other competitions have you joined?
In junior high school, I've joined lots of competitions. The one I remember is COSME, and then OSN, and then FSN, which is like Festival Science Nasional from OSI, and then I've joined Kompetisi Sains Hardiknas and some other competitions from some small scale competition organizers. The most recent one was IMCS.
Do you think that there are many benefits in entering these competitions?
Yes, I actually think there are lots of benefits, even the small competitions, right? Because, well, for the small competitions, they can help you train to answer the questions in the bigger competitions, right? Because, like I said before, one of the easiest ways to one of the easiest ways to study for a competition like this is to practice with the older questions, or questions from some other competitions. And for the bigger competitions, it's also very useful, as it might be something useful you could use in your CV.
Anyways, how do you manage your schedule with these Olympiads and your school schedule?
To be honest, the way I schedule it is I don't have a schedule. Basically, anytime I'm free or anytime I'm not doing anything, I try to study. I just try to open my book, find a page, and find a number I haven't done yet, and I do one of the questions. If I can't answer that question, then I study. If I can, then I'll move on to another question.
Have you run into any problems or technical difficulties while entering these competitions that may have reduced your score, for example?
Oh yeah, one of the most notable ones that I remember is when I think I was joining Festival Sains Hardiknas, right? It was a competition from Pusat Olimpiade Sains Indonesia, and basically the scoring system there is if you turn your camera off, right, because it's an online competition, they reduce your score by some amount. Now, when I looked at my score, I saw that it was just right below the passing score for gold, right? And then I realized, I think when I was doing the test, I accidentally turned off my camera when I wanted to go to the toilet, right? And I think that was one of the reasons they reduced my score, because who knows, I could be cheating and I could be like looking for answers online.
Anyways, so we've all heard about you going to IMCS. How was your experience when you joined IMCS?
My experience there was surprisingly very welcoming.
So, did you win any prizes from entering that competition?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I actually got a bronze medal. As you can see here, I got it from the International Mathematics Competition Union. And this was actually my first ever medal from an international competition.
Ooh. Was it hard? And are you happy with getting bronze?
To be honest, it was very hard to earn this medal, but thanks to my supportive friends and families who have supported me throughout these years, I've thankfully been able to get this medal.
Were there any other prizes that you got?
No, it was only this.
Oh. Anyways, do you have any message for the viewers who want to be like you, who want to join more competitions or more Olympiads?
Well, if I had a quote that I could send to anyone wanting to join a competition, it's that just because the competitions that are hard is what makes people accept you in schools or maybe in a job, right? That doesn't mean the lower level competitions aren't useful, right? Because the lower level competitions are there to help you practice and learn about the materials for what the higher level competitions might ask. And that's why I think if you ever have the chance to join a competition, join it, because who knows, maybe it's your last chance to join that competition.
Okay. So, I think that's all the time we have today. Thanks for watching.
I'm Chika.
I'm Bara.
And I'm Hakim.
See you next time on another BMDB podcast. Bye.
Bye.